Do you want to welcome the YouTubers?
Welcome, YouTubers, to our rear entrance. Step right in. It's wide open.
Looks about the same as before. Except we got this water tank in the way. What's going on here?
I don't know, you left a mess in here yesterday, so
Wow.
this is what it looks like. I get to clean it up.
Haha. Typical.
So I sort of skipped a little bit, but I've refined my board making process, and I've incorporated the table saw, which is helping, and a chainsaw for certain parts of it. But I'm working on this guy right now, and I figured I'd show you guys what I was up to. This wood looks so nice. Right now, I'm going to try to get it as flat as I possibly can with a straight edge and the power planer, so that I can continue to run it through the table saw. I was out here for a while the other day with Mandy, and we got several small boards made up. So all these, although they're not all cut, see there's still some live edge here, the sides are all square to each other. My friend Chris came by and helped us lay out all of the cabinets that we were going to build on the passenger side of the van. And here we are cutting boards to the right size and making sure that everything was going to fit, and making sure that we're going to make all of our cuts in the right places. This panel is basically a picture frame that's going to hold a piece of plywood that will cover the side of the refrigerator. So we had to cut a slot in there to fit the plywood, and then Mandy painted it.
I'm just cleaning up my mess. So it didn't tape very well.
Why not?
I don't know, I'm not good at it. You're better at taping.
I'm taping right now.
Ah, there's no tape in there.
I've been doing a pretty crappy job of recording videos, but I've been making this cabinet, and it's been like a learning curve anyways, so the video wouldn't have been interesting, but this is what I've got so far. So this is where our fridge sits currently, and then this panel goes up against the back of the fridge. And then the water filter thingy is in this space right here, and the passenger side water tank is right here. So that's where this is going to live. And then this space right here is going to be storage for these. Ooh. It's going to be storage for pots and pans and whatnot. Don't mind that guy. That gives you an idea. I don't know what's actually going to go in here yet, but we got to figure that out. Hopefully you can hear over the rain, but this is what the cabinet looks like installed. The fridge is there, and that's our water filter and our water tank. So this is pots and pans storage, and then up here is our oven. The oven's supposed to arrive today, and I want to see where it ends, so that I can figure out if it makes sense to put some other storage cabinet here, or if we just want enough room for the oven and then end the counter there. Once we had everything cut to size and the cabinet went together, we took it all apart. I went to town sanding all of the pieces to prep them for paint and for polyurethane, and Mandy took care of painting all of the stuff that got paint. And then after all the paint dried and the polyurethane dried, we reassembled the cabinet and prepped it to install into the van. What I was thinking of doing was hardwiring this to the terminals in the van and then just make the connections inside, which we would have to install the cabinet and then install this part way so that it was close enough to the cord to make the connections, and then finish assembling it, put this cover and this cover back on inside of the cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
But what if I just hardwire this much of this so that it pokes out in the back side of the cabinet? I can try and find a 3-pin connector that I might have in this bucket. I'm not sure. Do you want to do some digging?
In the bucket of death?
This one's not bad.
3.83 flat. 5 reds. Oh, I got an extra pointy. What do you think, bud? Do you like the new oven? Maybe I can make you something in there.
So I've got this cabinet kind of loosely in here, and I need to figure out how to secure it to the van. I'm thinking that I need to attach it to here and then pick up underneath this corner, because this is really the weakest point of the cabinet. Along this edge, I'm going to have a leg that goes all the way down to the floor to help hold it up and to hold the counter up. This corner has to support this cabinet, the counter, and the bed frame on this side. So it's got to be very rugged, and I'm thinking already that I'm going to have to put a backer plate inside the wall here. I don't think that's going to be terribly difficult. It's just going to be a flat rectangle with some bolt holes in it. So what I need to spend the most time on is what this bracket is going to look like here. I'm kind of thinking it's going to have a flange which will allow me to bolt it here, and then a flange that will grab the bottom of this board here, and I'm going to have to bolt it to the cabinet first and then install it, and then bolt the bracket to the wall once the cabinet is in place. So I just got to figure out what that looks like. And I've got some cardboard here, which is pretty good for making templates. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna time lapse it. So I've highlighted my cut marks in red to make sure that I don't screw up, and then I highlighted the fold lines in green to help you guys see what's going on here a little bit easier. So all of these outside flanges will get bent up to make sort of like a weird bowl kind of thing. I can't show you what it will actually look like because I don't have enough hands. flat pattern all cut out. So now I just gotta bend it in my Swag off-road / Harbor Freight press brake. This thing's pretty sweet. Basically, just slap that in there, and then I pump this jack until this guy comes down on my line and it bends it. Watch. So we got the seams welded up on this bracket that I made for the cabinets, and I got nuts welded to this backer plate so that I'll actually be able to install it with the wall installed. And yesterday I made a bunch of these. I think there's like 13 of them. These will secure the counter to the cabinets because it's not really standard counter cabinet situation. So typically there's like a corner brace in the cabinet and you just kind of screw up into the bottom of the counter, but the cabinets are so tight to the fridge that there's no room to get a drill up in there. And I want something a little bit more rugged than just that because it's going to be over the road. Regular residential countertop is not flying down dirt roads. So right now I've got to clean all this stuff up so that I can put paint on it. Then it can get installed.
We made this wall panel and cut out any notches that we needed to allow space for other things. There's some wires that go here. And then over here we can't really get down behind the battery area, so that's just cut out for ventilation for that system. And I painted it white because it's going to be the back of a under bench storage area, so that way we can have some brighter area in there so it's not like super dark.
So I'm going to take the van today to do some repairs to the flare. The fiberglass layup was not so great, but I just wanted to grab some video of the cabinet that we made and installed for the oven and some pots and pan storage, because I don't think I've shown that yet finished, although we did have it installed temporarily for like a weekend and we used it with the oven in there and all the pots and pans and stuff, and it worked awesome. So this is what it looks like in place. The oven's not in there right now, but this is the cord for it, so it'll just pop in this space right here and plugs in there, and then it's all good. And this is where we're putting pots and pans. It's a little dark in there, but you get the idea, and you've seen it in the light. There's the bracket all finished, painted, and secured in place, holding everything up. I'm so bad at narrating video. The people do know that. What the people don't know is that the nut plate that I showed, it's like a flat rectangle with nuts welded onto it, is inside the wall here now. That's why the nuts had to be welded. Because before I was reaching inside the wall here, but now this wall panel's in the way, so I can't hold the nuts still back here. And one other thing, this wall panel we had to install before this cabinet went in for final, because with the cabinet in there and the water tank in there, you obviously can't put this panel in because that goes all the way down to the floor, and it's really just there to hold all of the insulation in place. And it will be an inside wall in what will be a storage cabinet here. You'll see that several videos from now.